the education which we are giving to students, this is not for one day or not for one year. This is for a lifelong journey of our students and for their future. They must have a view. They must have a look to the world, not only to the through the NCRT book and the 360 degrees. There is no response. There is no reaction.
Hello and welcome to another episode on Great Principles. I'm your host Seema Chhoriya. How can we create an environment that foster the development of a community that can grow intellectually, socially, and ethically, and is therefore able to pursue successful and fulfilling careers, thereby achieving academic excellence? To understand this environment and to understand how do we create this right environment, we have with us Mr. Jijeesh Joseph. He is principal of Ideal Global School, Bidar, Karnataka. Welcome to Great Principles, sir. We are very privileged to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, madam.
So, sir, before I dive into the very interesting topic of academic excellence, I would first like to understand from you what has been your journey in education, what inspired you to take up this career, and what were some of the most rewarding and some challenging scenarios that came in front of you.
Okay. Yeah, madam, I have joined in the year of 2003 as a teacher in Madhya Pradesh Devas. So that was maybe a coincidence, but really by the sixth month, I realized this was a call by God. So I was very lucky and I was so selected person because I had such a great principal, Mr. Benny from Kerala. He was my principal. He trained me the day when he started to call and guide and to make me to realize something. I myself realized I have a good teacher in me. And today when I realized that I have a good teacher in me, then I have just gone back to the school time of my life as well as the friends which I had with me. Then I have just experienced some of the problems which I have faced in my school time. So then I realized which I could not get, which I couldn't enjoy in my life. Why don't I give all this to my students? The day I realized to become the best teacher of the school, from then I started my hard work. When I go to the class with a very thorough preparation, with a lot of energy, I used to go to class. If I did not prepare, if my lesson plan is not ready, I just have any other topic in the class, but I never touched the syllabus because I never spoiled my children. I can very clearly talk to in front of this media or in front of anybody, wherever, in whichever the school I worked, I have done my job very sincerely with 100% dedication because I myself always believe the education which we are giving to students, this is not for one day or not for one year. This is for a lifelong journey of our students and for their future because we are shaping the future. So every now and then in the life, wherever, in whichever the school I worked, whichever the parts of the students I worked and I deal, I have taken a special care to follow the academic ethics and as well as the professional code of ethics of a teacher. That was the journey. From then it started, and I worked there as a teacher in the primary. I was the class teacher of third A, and then classes second, third, fourth. Then I got a promotion in the 6th month to the fifth, sixth classes, and then I worked in Andhra Pradesh. I most of the time of my life I was in Madhya Pradesh, and then I worked in Meerut, and then most of the states I lived and I experienced the students and their education, and I had my own way of research, how to improve, and I taken the good experience of the best principals, best teachers, and the great man who inspired in my life. That is the great man, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, because he used to tell, "Let us teach children, let us make our children, let us make our children to dream about the moon and stars." That's what the great, one of the great thoughts I always taken in my life, where great Kalam said that how we have to motivate, how we have to take children in our own control and set them free to fly to their highest destination. When I talk about the awards and achievements, I always believe that awards can be given by man, but reward will be given by God. Here, when I was a student in my school and college level, I have participated in different sports and games. And in 400 meter, I have perform. I had an excellent performance for the state of Uttar Pradesh, and with a great time, I have completed my 400-meter there, and I have played for state level volleyball and football for state of Madhya Pradesh, football and volleyball, and for the Uttar Pradesh also I played. And always I taken care of my physical fitness even now, because I believe mental fitness and physical fitness always will be very necessary, and it is compulsory for everyone to have a balanced professional life. And when it comes to my professional life, I have also received some awards as a principal and as a teacher. And as a principal, Nelta Foundation awarded me with a Best Principal Award, and Mahasi University of Information Technology, Lucknow, awarded me with the Best Principal Award. All India Principal Association has awarded with the Shiksha Pad Saman of 2021, and Paya awarded with the Shiksha Ret Saman in 2021, and KGN Humanities Social Service has awarded me for the Excellent Educational Awards, that is National Educational Excellence Awards, and National Mendes Association and Edu Summit also awarded me the Principal of the Year Award. Yeah, all these awards which I have received, I firmly believe it's only because of my hard work, and behind this, a lot of teachers and my previous principals and their hard work and guidance. Also, my family. When I talk about my family, my wife and her support is always my kids, my parents, my siblings, and all those members always used to support me. So I never feel that lonely in my life because of my family. I have a best family where I get always a real and a positive support for all my work. That's one of the advantage for me, and I believe in God, and always I have the blessings of God. So whatever the problems comes in the life, whatever the hurdles I have and I face, I overcome all those problems with the blessings of Lord Almighty.
Wow, such beautiful thoughts, sir. And with
Yeah,
these
but in the
thoughts,
2000, I'm sorry, in
yes,
2016, I've joined as a principal. From then, the journey as a principal is going well. I believe I'm doing my job smoothly and sincerely.
absolutely, sir. So, you have
Yeah,
wonderful thoughts that as a teacher, what teachers should do, the role of a teacher is to provide, help the children to decide their goal in life. Because when you wake up and
yeah,
you have a goal in life, then your life has a meaning to it. Otherwise, you are just running behind your clock and just fulfilling the duties without heart involved. So, sir, we heard you what were you do as a teacher. Now, in leadership role, what do you think are the most important characteristics to lead?
as a leader or as a teacher to a principal in this journey, I have realized that academic excellence leads to the human excellence, and that human excellence will not be only in a simple way. That will be to the professional excellence, and that professional excellence must be, sometimes the professional excellence will not be only an efficiency. Efficiency is also very much required and very much necessary. I think that that's what the topic you would like. I have to talk about that now, right?
Yes, sir. So, how do we excel in scholastic areas? When we talk about academic excellence, we always have the scholastic excellence in mind. So, how do we
Yeah.
do that? What is the right kind of environment to foster this? Let's hear it out. That.
Madam, normally when we talk about the student who secured 100% result in CBSE, state board or ICSE, wherever it may be, it is not sure that it is not compulsory for the child must have got a real success in his life, because that is the only academic excellence. When it comes to the human excellence, when it comes to the efficiency area, sometimes those children will fail. For that, I always suggest my children minimum 30 minutes in the morning. You may sit separately and go for reading newspaper and read some separate books that which will give you some extra knowledge than from the NCRT or from the curriculum which is set for you. And the evening hours you must go for another 30 minutes apart from your study. That is the physical and the mental exercise, which is very very necessary to have mental and physical balance to a human. And this, when we talk about this academic excellence to the human excellence, really it is getting connected. The student who had set his goal from the class 6 with the help of teacher, maybe with the help of principal or with the help of parents or by the support of somebody by reading the books of the getting the inspiration of the great leaders. And from then the child will start his journey by reaching to the class 8. Child must have reached or he must have set his goal in very proper or in perfect manner. From then he can move towards to the academic excellence, and that academic excellence must move towards to the human excellence. And if both moves together, if academic excellence one side and as a human, if he is fit for everything, only then he can reach and attain to his goal. Why? Because many of them who have secured their goal, who might have reached as the position in the professional life as a doctor or engineer, even though they may not have that confidence to speak in front of somebody, they may not be able to stand in front of somebody or to perform something. Because all these are the, because like IQ, EQ, and SQ. All this will also play a very important role in the life of a student or even in the future when we reach to the professional. Some of the doctors, engineers, when the social emotions it comes, when the social issues when it comes, they won't be able to manage because the problem, their IQ may be good, but their SQ and their EQ may not be supporting them. So academic excellence of a child will not be only that he has scored a highest mark in his class or in that particular subject, but that human excellence also must support to the child. I always give my students, apart from the textbook, whatever I used to give class to the highest class in the like class 12th I used to teach. While teaching, I always take care. I consider the students like the degree level students. I always give them, apart from the topic, wherever we text, wherever we reach to the topic related to that, whatever the discussion required, whatever the point we need to discuss, that we discuss. And because they must have to open the door of the world when they are in the class 9th at least. Because they must have a view, they must have a look to the world, not only to the through the NCRT book and the 360 degree, minimum 180 degree in radius. They must start their vision from class 6, and when they reach to class 9 to 10, they must have the in their 360 degree radius. They must have the view because everything they must understand about everything they must learn in this world, because only then, because they are moving towards the world. Till the time of their class 10th and 12th, they will be in the hand of one side maybe parents, one side the teachers, and they are in the campus and the compound of the school. From then, they are moving towards their professional life. So really, academic excellence will definitely lead to human excellence. That is with the support of the proficiency and efficiency of everyone. That is very, very important for all of the students in their school life.
Certainly, sir. Once that is achieved, that is when the child is prepared for the life. And as you rightly mentioned, all kind of EQs needs to be developed, and then only we can
Yeah,
tell that the along we were able to develop a child holistically. So thank you so much,
yeah,
sir, for sharing your views on academic excellence. And I'm sure that with the leaders, when leaders inculcate this vision in the team, teachers, then this is passed on to the students as well, and together we can definitely create such an environment. So leader also plays a very important role here because he's the one who gives the directions to the team in which they lead further. So, sir,
yeah,
on this
yeah,
lovely note, let us begin our rapid fire round. In this round, sir, you need to answer me in one word or a single sentence.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. So here goes my very first question to you. Suggest a book that every student must read.
The book which every child must read.
Yeah.
One of the book I can say that is the book of Mahatma Gandhi, biography of Mahatma Gandhi.
So the My Experiments with Truth, right? All right, wonderful. Definitely, when you read biography of great leaders, you understand what kind of situations come in front of them in the life, and how to do they did they tackle what were their failures, how did they learn. So yes, a very important note that a child must read biographies. Moving ahead to the next question, what is that you do when you're not working? What are your hobbies?
When I am not working, when I don't have any work to do, I just go for listening some of the great speech like Dr. Kalam or maybe from Obama or by the great personalities who have led the different nations towards its highest. And I go for listening the speech of those great leaders sometimes I go for doing the research, how some of them have done their research and what conclusion they have got, what result they have got.
Wow. So, moving ahead to my next question now. Do you think that this is the era where our children are not getting the human touch and they're just doing machine learning?
Yes, of course, madam. These days, children are doing only the homework and only as a mission, whatever the button we press, they do only because there is no response, there is no reaction. That is what is happening now.
So, what can we do to rehumanize this machine learning?
It's up to the teachers and it's up to the parents. When
Absolutely.
both the hands are together, sound will make. The support of the parents these days, it's very poor. Only they have a goal. My child needs to be a doctor. My child must be an engineer. But nobody is trying to make the child a real and a true human.
A very important point, sir, is brought forward that without school parent partnership, we cannot achieve what we intend to as parent also and also as school teachers. So if you want these dreams to be fulfilled, please support the school and ensure that you give the right environment at home also. Moving ahead to the next question, sir. One country, one board, one nation, one board. What are your thoughts on this policy? Do you agree with this will be a successful model in India?
Madam, definitely this will be a successful way for almost all the central government staff members, those who every time used to get transfer from one place to another place for their kids. Definitely this will be a supportive and one country, one code of education system will definitely support all the students to have an equal level of competitive and will have a same platform to perform themselves.
Very nice views we received here on how this policy of one nation one board can give a uniform platform to all the students. Coming to the last question now, sir. So many youth do not aspire to be a school principal, a school leader, or a school teacher. So what would be your inspirational message to them so that they take up this noble profession?
Madam, according to me, when I talk from my side, whenever I request or demand something from students, the previous day I plan to have that change in me. And I myself will be a role model to my children. Without being that, I never demand because now for the 10th class students, I have told them no washroom in between the exam. So the same practice must start. So if every teacher plan the same, the teacher as well as the parent also. Nowadays it is happening at home. The parents are not a role model to the children. And teachers are not ready to be the role model to the children. If the teachers, parents, and the entire society being to be role model to the children, they must have a fear in front of the child. I should not do this. Then there will be a lot of changes in students and entire nation and the students as well as the youth will have an inspiration in their life by seeing the teachers.
Absolutely, because today you don't need to teach, you need to preach because children are very observant. They do what they
Yeah.
see, So this was Mr. Jijeesh Joseph on our show today. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was a wonderful interaction. In a short span, we touched many topics and we learned a lot from today. And I'm sure my audience is going to gain a lot. Thank you so much for being on our show. It was a privilege to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thanks for giving chance to me.